Hello everyone, JRR here, and this is the Prioritization mini-series where we cover prioritizing targets in different genres, or different fields, we should say. What I'm going to be covering is MMO PvP, MMO PvE, Tabletop RP, which is like D&D, Text RP, Facebook and things of that nature, and in most cases MOBAs, which will be closer to the MMO PvP. So, I can't exactly give you all the best of hints and helps for prioritizing in FPS, but I'll probably add that to the MOBA PvP kind of stuff. So, with that being said, alright, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, I play first-person shooters, FPS, and those are just pretty much shoot who you can. Shoot whoever's in front of you. And okay, that's fine and dandy. But then I come over here and I'm playing stuff like MOBAs, and you're saying MOBAs is very situational. And then you turn around and you say in MMOs, in PvE, you always go after the healer. So I don't get it. Is it very situational? Do you go after the healer? What do you do? Okay. In MMOs, it's a different setup than MOBAs. In MOBAs, you go after certain things in certain situations. Clearly. But in MMO PvP, battlegrounds are a little bit different because team compositions can be rather varied. But in general, if it's the same situation, let's say we're going to use the same situation like a MOBA, where it's 5v5, okay? In those situations, you're going to have a healer, a tank, and 3 DPS. Now here's the problem in the MMO version versus the MOBA version. In the MOBA version, there's massive cooldowns. A healer only gets like 1, maybe 2 spells to heal, and the other spells to support, and their ultimate is usually you have to support a heal. And that's fine. That's great. But those have cooldowns. Unless, of course, you're doing something that gets rid of cooldowns almost entirely. Like in League, it's Earth. But in general, they have cooldowns. But in MMOs, they have a barrage of spells that all heal. Even if one of their strongest heals is on cooldown, they have another one ready to just plop on somebody else. And then another one. And another one. And another one. And it's... how can I say this? They don't have the same kind of penalties because in MMOs it's made more for PvE, where you deal with bosses that deal AoE damage and such, so the healers have to be able to do more healing than normal. So in PvP, when this comes up, it brings up the question of who do you target first? And just like in PvE, you go for the healer. You force the healer to focus on themselves. You focus the healer. That's what you do. Because the healer is forced to heal themselves and use things where their other types of heals are lightly hitting the other players because they're worried about themselves, then you have the advantage. Now, the problem that most people have, especially in MMOs, in MOBAs, people seem to get it. Like, control, control, control. Use one of your abilities, stop someone. Stop them from doing something. Control, control. In MMOs, it's, we can rush you down. And that's what people get stuck with. They think, we can rush you down. We just beat you down quickly. They forget about control. They forget about status ailments. They forget about things like that. They have rogues that run around and they're like, I'm going to just sap your hit points while I'm doing damage to you, as opposed to slowing down the casting time to buy his team time to counterspell them, or things of that nature. And this is where the problem comes in, is because when in MMOs, most people will try to just rush you down. This is why those arena groups are really good, because they keep the MOBA mentality. Control, control, control. I can't stress that enough. The whole person you want to kill first is the healer. Yes, that still holds. That still applies. Like I said, in arenas it's a different story because you can get a paladin, a druid, and some other stuff, and they all heal each other, and it's like, who do I kill now? There are like 5 healers, and yeah. In that case, you're probably screwed. But I'm just putting it out there. You're probably screwed because you don't have enough control to control all 5. But then again, they're not going to do a whole lot of damage, so... And in MMOs, like MOBAs, healers usually don't do a lot of damage, usually being a key word. Now, much like tanks who usually don't do a lot of damage, keyword again is usually, there are different situations. In most PvP situations, however, in most cases, control. Kill the healer, control everything you can. Silence the mage if you can. If you're near a mage and you can silence them, silence them. If you're near a healer and they're trying to cast something, stop them. Silence them. Blind them. Confuse them. Sap them. Something. Do something to stop the cast. Do what you can to stop the cast. And if you don't think you can stop the cast, do things to inhibit the cast. Do things to slow the cast. Do things to lessen the heal that's incoming. Do things to hamper. Control the situation. Control the situation. Don't let the situation control you. You control the situation. Okay? In PvP cases, you'll do a lot better if you remember to control. Now, if you get jumped by, like, say, 10 people and you're by yourself, then good luck, Rambo. But control is a major factor, and people, in most PvP senses, say battlegrounds or whatnot, they don't think about that. They don't think about control. They just think, rush the person down, rush the person down. I got greater DPS than you, I can rush you down. Yeah, but if you are silenced, if you do 10,000 damage per second as a mage, and I silence your ass, which means you can't cast, and then I inhibit your spell casting, which slows your spells down, so it takes, instead of 2 seconds, it takes 3.5 to cast, and my cooldown is 2 seconds to counterspell your ass, guess who's going to win this fight? Me, because you are not casting shit. And that's the problem people have. They don't think of control, they just try to DPS down. I do 10,000 DPS. I'll just rush you down. Yeah, this person does about 5,000 heal per second. So you do 10,000 DPS, they heal and they control you and run away. They heal to full before you even recover. What? Why? Why would you even do that? Why wouldn't you think to control them? Fear. Counterspell, pummel, anything. Stop them. Stop them from casting. Stop the healer from casting, and you pretty much beat the healer. Now, in some cases, the healers have instants. Again, you want to use spells. Any type of ability that makes the spell cast longer, do it. Because 9 out of 10 times, the instant heals are not the strongest heals. So you can at least whittle them down. Are we understanding this? In MMOs, you have to learn to control the enemy. In MOBAs, it's already set. It's one of your abilities. You have 4 freaking buttons. One of the abilities is usually a control ability. Use the motherfucker. And in MOBAs, if you don't use it, you die. You learn quickly, you die. In MMOs, people don't think like that. I have all these damage abilities, and I have 3 things I control, but I'm not going to use those 3 things because I never do. I never need them. Yeah, then get the fuck out of my battleground. Just leave. Just leave. Roll PvP in my battleground. Get out. Get out. Just get out. Get out. One way to go into an arena team. Wow, you're going to be the easiest people to beat because you're not going to control anybody. Until you learn to control the enemy. Counterspell. Fear. I don't know. Mind control. Anything to stop them. Healer. Get rid of them first. Once you get rid of them, you deal with the DPS. You just kill them. You just outright jump their ass. Dogpile. Do it. Get them dead. Get them dead a lot. They die a lot. Get them dead a lot. And the last person should be the freaking tank. Now, all the while you're doing this, try to protect your healer because anybody with logic will try to control you to go after the healer. Logic. I mean, hell, if you're definitely playing WoW and there's a mage on the enemy team and you got a tank, consider your tank a sheep or a ram or a critter. Just consider them gone. They are not going to be part of the fight. They are not there. If they're there, great, whatever. And if it's a warrior tank who's quick enough to reflect the spell, even better. But let's be honest. You have to prepare for the worst case scenario. If the enemy has a mage and they have polymorph, chances are they're going to try to control the tank so they're completely out the way and they kill you. Or they're going to kill one of the DPS. If it's a 3v3, that's exactly what's going to happen. Neutralize the DPS, ignore the tank, kill the healer. That's what's going to happen. So it all comes down to control. Like I said, in MOBAs, it's one of your 4 abilities. But in MMOs, remember control. Use your statuses. be smart about how you fight. Okay? Your target is still the healer, then the DPS, then the tank. But control the fight.